We're going to hear from Senator Roberts in a moment. First, we're going to hear from Senator Ralph Babet. Now, he comes from my former home state of Victoria. Thank God I can add the word former in there. And we were delighted when we saw the results in the last federal election that Senator Babet had got up. It was an absolute thrill and one of only a few pieces of great news out of that election. And Senator Babet has wasted absolutely no time. Who follows Babet on social media? Okay. You know Miley Cyrus, I came in like a wrecking ball. Like this is the political version of Miley Cyrus, and it's fantastic to watch. And he's also a great bloke. And those of you that are VIPs will get to meet him tonight. And the rest of you, please, if you see him, just take a moment to get to know him. So we're going to start with you, Senator Ralph Babet. Did you want this? Or...
Thanks, mate.
Cheers.
Cheers. Well, thank you everyone for coming today. I'm glad to see all of you here, and I'm going to attest to what Topher said about Senator Malcolm Roberts here. This man is a very, very hard-working man. Every event I go to, he's the one man who's always there. It doesn't matter how big it is, how small it is, doesn't matter. If it's about promoting Australia, promoting conservative Australian values, Australia first, the man's there, no doubt. So hats off to you, Senator Roberts. Hats off to you. A bit of my background, I'll be really, really brief because I've only got 20 minutes here today. A bit of my background. I'm not a career politician. I hate politics. I can't stand it. Can't stand it. I'm here because my hand was forced. I guess all of our hands were forced. I've always been politically aware of what was going on in our country. I've always been aware that the political class and the elite class, the corporate class, didn't have our best interests at heart. But I never did anything about it as far as it goes, being in Parliament. So during the COVID times, I was very upset with what my government was doing. Everything was unscientific. It didn't make any sense. And during that time, I thought, you know what? I've watched from the sidelines for long enough. I'm going to get involved, get active. I've got to do something. So I put my hand up and here I am. Here I am. I don't care about getting re-elected. In fact, I couldn't give a stuff. I don't care. And that's what makes me, I guess, dangerous to the political class, because they know that I can't be bought, I can't be purchased, I cannot be convinced to do anything that goes against what I believe in and what I want to achieve, which is Australia first all the way. Now, thank you. Thank you. Now, for as far back as I can remember, my entire life, I have watched, you have watched, we've all watched in this damn room as the progressive loony left, which is what they are, the progressive loony left, have implemented insane policies that have destroyed social cohesion, that have demonised normality, that have demoralised our population, and that have indebted future generations. That's what they've done. That's what they've done. Now, Antonio Gramsci, he was an Italian communist. In 1916, he referred to socialism as the religion destined to kill Christianity. That's what he said. Now, Gramsci, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, he was the grandfather of the idea or the phrase, the long march through the institutions. Now, he didn't actually say that, but I think he influenced that phrase. The long march. Now, what is it? The long march is a persistent and determined effort to undermine everything good and true, everything that underpins our civilization. That's what it is. While we were sleeping, Gramsci and his Marxist comrades were infiltrating our institutions and poisoning the minds of our people. Now, not a single institution in the Western world, not one, has been left untouched by the scourge of Marxism and the modern left. Not one. Think about it. Not one. From critical race theory to gender theory, demonically inspired lefties have spread their destructive lies in schools, universities, corporate boardrooms, and churches everywhere. Now, I use the phrase demonically inspired deliberately. Now, not every Marxist is a devil, but Marxism is most definitely the devil's idea. Most definitely. It's anti-freedom, it's anti-prosperity, anti-family, anti-God. That's what it is. It enslaves citizens. It impoverishes cities. It tears families apart, and we are now seeing the fruits right around the Western world. Right around. I live in Victoria, okay? Unfortunately. So trust me when I say that Marxism is a satanic poison. That's what it is. Poison. Our state is broke. Our state is riddled with crime. Our state has a dozen protests every other week for lunatic social justice causes. Every single one that you care to name, we got it. The Melbourne CBD's covered in graffiti. It's overrun with mentally ill people. It is dirty, it is tired, it is run down. That's what it is. It is run down. Chris Mims, the Premier of New South Wales, even called Victoria just yesterday a welfare state. That's what he called us. Is he wrong? I don't think he's wrong at all. He's not wrong. The only place in which Marxism has ever produced anything good at all is in the wild imaginations of those who seek to impose it. That's it. Any thinking person, anyone, is afraid that our great country will be damaged beyond repair by the left-wing policies of this most left-wing of federal governments and the piss-weak centre-right that don't even oppose. When have they opposed? Never. Never. They affirm the garbage policies of the left when they come to power. When was the last time you saw the centre-right repeal any of the damaging laws installed by the hard left? When? Never. That's when. Now, in recent times, those of us who still care about our country have been heartened to see some common sense coming back. Donald Trump, 45, soon to be 47, God willing. God bless him. Donald Trump. Love him or loathe the man, at least he gave us a sense that it just might be possible to push back against the leftist narrative and forge a different path. At least he did that. Conservative wins in Italy, in Hungary. It showed us that it's possible for the pendulum to swing back towards normality. New Zealand as well. But in recent times, obviously, I have taken enormous encouragement from the modern-day champion of freedom and common sense, Javier Milei, as we heard about before from the previous speaker. Yeah. Decades of socialism, decades, left the one-time South American paradise an absolute mess, as you've all heard. Families are flat broke while the public service is bloated. Debt has skyrocketed. Inflation is running at over 200%. Half the population is living in poverty. Argentina is obviously a basket case. And if we don't wise up, all of us here, if we don't wise up, guess what? We're next. We're next. Australia and Argentina are both resource-rich nations. And like Australia, Argentina was once a fully functioning democracy with wealth for toil, golden soil, and beauty rich and rare. Just like us. Just like us. Now they're eating their damn pets thanks to the wonders of socialism. They're eating their pets. That's what's happening. Now, Javier Milei won office promising drastic action to restore the country to its former glory. That's how he won office. He cut the public service by, 50%? Or, John Ruddick, 50%? Something like that. He cut it. He got rid of woke government bureaucracies like the Ministry for Women that did nothing to improve the lives of women while taking money from where it was most needed. You know what? What is a woman anyway? What is a woman? No one even knows, right? No one knows. Least of all the federal government here in Australia. They don't know. He slashed regulation. He encouraged private enterprise. And you know what? He told the socialists to go to hell. That's what he did. Go to hell. And good for him. Now, not content with that. Oh, he wasn't done there. He went to the World Economic Forum, stared at them in the face, and he told them that he would not allow socialism to destroy freedom, prosperity, or progress. Who saw his speech? At a WEF, a few of you have seen it. Good. Of course, there's a long way to go in Argentina. You don't correct decades of stupidity in mere months. You don't do that. It's going to take time. There will be more pain before the benefits of his reforms are felt, but at least the process has started. It's started. Now, for the first time in years, there is hope for a nation to be revived. There is hope. And sensible people are optimistic for their futures. They are. Now, we have not ventured as far down the path of socialism as our South American friends, but as I said earlier, we can already see the effects right here just the same. Now, for good news, and there is good news, that it's everywhere I go, everywhere, decent people, and there's a lot more decent people than what the ABC might have you believe, or Twitter might have you believe, but they tell me that they are fed up to the back teeth. They are fed up with identity politics. They are fed up with industrial relations madness. They are fed up with overregulation and climate catastrophism. They're sick of it. People want to see our nation turned around, and I'm convinced that it's in our power to see that happen. It is. It is. And let's be honest, it's not hard. It's not hard. If you simply announced, right, that schools should teach biology rather than genderqueer madness, confused kids that are trying to work out what they are, male or female, or maybe a cat might be better off. You seen that story about the kids in school who identify as cats? It's a true story. They identify as cats and the teachers are okay with that. Come on. You're not a cat. Get out of here. Get in the corner. Detention. That's it, okay? Now, if you simply scrap welcome to country or acknowledgement of country ceremonies, which do nothing but divide our people, we would immediately be more united, right? Thank you. Thank you. If we simply put a stop to the perverted elements in so-called pride marches, the morality of our society would be instantly improved. Okay? Now, it's always amazed me how public acts of nudity and obscenity are illegal unless done under the glitter of a rainbow flag, in which case it somehow becomes a wonderful celebration of love and goodness all of a sudden. Nothing says love like hairy men in leather G-strings walking down the streets of Sydney in view of innocent young children. Nothing says love like that, right? Scrap it, I say. Scrap it and watch the tone of our society improve. Now, you don't have to think too long to figure out ways in which to rescue and redeem our country and our culture. Culture, it's important. You must engage in the culture wars. The culture eventually becomes the politics. How do we save our country? Here we go, use coal. There you go. There's a start, use coal. 2 words. I fix our energy crisis. How easy is that? No problem. Arrest those who cut down our statues, those scallywags. Yeah. Lock up climate protesters who block our public roads. Push back against people who bring the problems from their home country over here when they migrate here. Audit the Indigenous industry and figure out where our $30 billion a year is going. Dump digital ID. Dump it. Dump the central bank digital currency. Demand that banks provide cash for people who don't want to be hacked and tracked by the government. And I know I'm early to the party, but screw your social credit system, and I'm not eating the damn bugs. Not doing it. Look, I could go on and on. There's many examples, but I'm just shooting some ideas at the top of my head here. You don't need to be Einstein to turn the country around, okay? You just don't need to be. You just need to be an average person with an average IQ who doesn't have delusions of grandeur, like in Parliament House, delusions of grandeur, who actually wants to do the best for their country and their people. That's it. Simple, right? But these kinds of people are few and far between in Parliament House, I tell you that right now. Did I mention nuclear power? No, I didn't. Let's talk about nuclear power. Why aren't we exploring nuclear power? We're the only country in the G20 that has banned it. Even Bangladesh is looking at nuclear power. To be honest, I'd rather keep using our coal and gas, but if they're going to insist on getting rid of coal and gas, then we need to look at nuclear power. Our government has decided that we're not smart enough. We're not smart enough to use nuclear power. We can only use sunbeams and a stiff breeze to power our nation. It's ridiculous. You know what? All these solar panels and wind turbines, you know where they're made? They're made in China using Australian coal, Australian gas, and it's made by slave labour. We shut down our nation, shut down our productive capacity. They benefit and they laugh at us. They laugh at us. If I didn't know any better, I'd think it was a deliberate ploy to shut down this nation. Uranium. We're sitting on a ton of uranium. Why? And you know what? We sell it to other parts of the world. Why can't we use it ourselves? Speaking of nuclear power, how does it make sense that our technology, that nuclear technology can be used to power subs, but it can't be used to power our homes? It's actually ridiculous. And while we're on the subject of national defence, let's talk about that quickly. When America asks us to send one single solitary ship to the Red Sea to help defend shipping lanes from Houthi rebels, we were unable to assist. Why? Why? According to the Director of Strategic Analysis Australia, Michael Shoebridge, we didn't help because, and I quote, "We have got a shortage of ships and they're not adequately equipped." Not adequately equipped to defend ourselves against some rebels using $1,000 drones. Ridiculous. We have had more defence reviews than we have ammunition. I'm exaggerating, but only slightly. Only slightly. It has been reported that Australia only has enough weapons and ammunition to last 1 week in a conflict. 1 week. It has also been reported, get this, that the military has a program in place to remove gender-specific language, provide gender-neutral ration packs, fund breast enhancement and gender reassignment surgeries for personnel. That's what they're doing. I have an idea. Stop castrating yourselves and spend the damn money on bullets and missiles. You're the military, for God's sakes. Get that woke crap out of the military. And it's not just ammunition that would just, run out quickly. It's also our fuel reserves. All of our fuel reserves are over in the United States. It's not even here. All these issues could be fixed immediately if we had people in government with a functioning brain. That's it. It almost seems like brains, much like coal and gas, is forbidden from being used in Canberra. That's what's happening right now. Another question, speaking about resources, all right? Get this. Why aren't we processing our minerals right here at home? Example, we sell iron ore for hundreds of dollars a tonne and it goes overseas. We could process that into steel right here at home and sell it for much more. Now, if the governments, if they applied their minds to this issue, rather than trying to divide us by race, our country and our people, guess what? We'd be better off overnight. But you know what? We're getting wise to the manipulations of those in power. Yes, we are. The people who wield power from the shadows. I feel like the tide is turning and I hope you feel it too. The floodgates have opened. Trump and Millet have shown us what's possible. They have. Now, there are 3 things that cannot be long hidden. I'll tell you what they are. The sun, the moon and the truth. That's what they are. Sun, moon and truth. Having spent the last 2 years in Canberra, I tell you this. There are people who would hide the sun, hide the moon and hide the truth if they could get away with it. There are forces at work in the West that would not hesitate to bury the sun in a committee or to conceal the moon beneath layers of bureaucratic newspeak if only given half a chance. Now, some truths, I'll tell you what they are, some truths that cannot be hidden for long. There are only 2 genders. There's your first one. Do you agree? Yeah. Socialism ends in misery. The politics of division is a means by which the elite control the masses. We are overtaxed and overgoverned. God is real, and even if you don't believe, you should want him to be. Capitalism is not perfect, but it's the greatest economic system and has lifted billions out of poverty. Billions. The best welfare is a job. Wokeness is cancer. The power of government is not always a force for good and must be restrained. We are being unduly influenced by globalist, unelected organisations like the World Economic Forum, the UN and the WHO. The best system of government is the nuclear family, mum, dad and children. A form of feudalism is on its way back to the West unless you stop it from happening. And finally, the government, no matter what they say, does not care about you. Does not care about you. Now, I can probably think of 1,000 more, but Topher's given me the signal. I've only got a couple of minutes left. I've got to be quick. Now, with the assistance of mainstream media, propped up by vested interests and staffed by journalists who see themselves as activists rather than as reporters, the Sun in 2024 has been labelled as misinformation, and they have dismissed the moon as disinformation. It's what they've done. They've done a fact check, you see, and now they insist that the sun never existed. It never existed. What are you talking about? And the moon was never a thing. The Wikipedia entries have already been edited to reflect this new fiction. Big tech and big government have colluded to ban the sun and the moon and the truth from their platforms. Ladies and gents, I'm here to tell you this. The sun is reappearing, the moon is coming back into view, and the truth about what our political elite have done is being exposed, slowly but surely. Now, the reason that the sun and the moon and the truth cannot be hidden is because I will not allow it to be hidden. I just won't do it. I didn't go into politics to occupy a seat. I didn't do that. I stood for and was elected to the Senate for one reason: to safeguard our nation against the tyrants and the authoritarians that run through the halls of Parliament. So I ask you this: how do we fix our country? It's not hard, it's not difficult, it's not complex, it's easy. We just need more common sense. That's all we need, common sense. But common sense is not common in the halls of Parliament. But if we had it, our nation and our people would flourish once again. If it can happen in Argentina, you're damn right it can happen right here at home. So I thank you for supporting me. Thank you for supporting the United Australia Party. And thank you for being, I guess, my rock, and leaving nice comments, saying, coming up to me in the streets and saying thanks, etc. Now, I'm just going to finish off now, Topher. Our country has many problems. We know that. Many problems, but the problems were created by men and women. And guess what? Because of that, it can be solved by men and women if we are courageous, if we are strong, if we use our voice, if we take a greater interest in the political process. The challenges that we face are many, I know that. We can do something about it. You're doing something about it right now by taking a greater interest in the political process. That's what you're doing, right? Exactly. That's what you're doing. You're here to listen to me talk. Good. Remember, you are not alone. You're not alone. Look around you. There's people here everywhere. Together we will make a difference. Together. Together we will stand up. Up. Together we will create change. Together we will make a better tomorrow. And together, but only together, we will save Australia. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Aussie. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Thank you. Thank you.